The list of men for the next season of The Bachelorette have been revealed, and we're gonna go through them and give our first impressions. Hey guys, and welcome back to another shared news. We've got some tea on all of the new men from the next season of The Bachelorette, but before we get into it, you guys know what you gotta do. Give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on any future videos. As always, I am your host, Zachary Reality, joined by Gianna Gravalese and Morgan Wright. Gianna, Morgan, the men are here. They are going to start filming this weekend. We got some cuties in the mix. There's been a few guys who already have red flags. What are your overall impressions of the group?
This to me is like the most exciting time of the year. I feel like when men get all excited about football draft or the players that get traded or however that works, that is this for all of us. So we are so excited. I have seen the batch, and I think that this is a really good looking batch of guys. There are already some that stick out to me, and I can't wait to dive in.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think it's so interesting too to look at all these guys and kind of see which one you think would be better with Gabby, which one would be better with Rachel, because it's just a different dynamic that we haven't seen yet. So they definitely have some hotties in the mix. I could see them fighting over a couple of these guys, but I'm super excited for them as well. I think they're going to crush it.
For sure. There's definitely some options. At the end of the day, we just want them both to find love. So even if there's a few, F boys in the mix, as long as there's one guy for each of them, it's all good. And just to refresh everyone's memory, Gabby and Rachel are our two new bachelorettes. So Gabby is 31 years old. She was a former Broncos cheerleader. Now she's an ICU nurse. And the Bachelorette from Denver, Colorado, with an iconic grandfather, while Rachel is 26 years old. She's a pilot. She has a gay best friend. She's from Florida, and she has a really strict dad. So they're going to be finding love. There was 35 men released to the Bachelorette Facebook page. However, only 30 of them are most likely going to make the cut, as Jesse Palmer revealed on After the Final Rose. There will be 30 men, so the extra 5 men probably, just get cut last minute, or if someone doesn't pass one of the tests they have to take. So there might be a few of these guys who we review and judge, and they just don't end up making it on TV, but that is okay. So let's just dive right into it. Morgan, Gianna, I want your unfiltered opinions, okay? Do not hold back. We don't know these men. I'm sure our opinions will change when the season starts. But let's first look at Alec G. He is from Houston, Texas. He has a YouTube channel. He is a traveling photographer, and he is really into fitness. Gianna, what do we think?
Okay, yummy. First of all, first glance. And I like anyone that has a YouTube channel or is into traveling and fitness because those are all of my personality traits in one. And I always look at these men with like my intentions. Like I'm like, who would I date when I should be thinking of Gabby and Rachel? But I think that he looks cute, wholesome. He's 27, so he's not too young, not too old. Big fan of Alec G already.
Well, Morgan, let me ask you this, because there has been already some flack about him online because he has a YouTube channel. Is he just on the show to get famous, or like should we not be judging him? Because a lot of us have YouTube channels.
Yeah, I think it's funny, Gianna, that a YouTube channel for you is a green flag. It's a huge red flag for me. If I was the Bachelorette and I saw this guy had a YouTube channel, I'd be like, please, clout chaser all the way. But we'll give him the benefit of the doubt for now. But I feel like if it were me, it would be a red flag going off.
Yeah, I guess it just depends what he's trying to accomplish on the show. If it's part of his business, then, that's part of his business. So we'll have to kind of see what his energy brings to the Bachelorette. And our next guy here, his name is Avon J, and I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. He's from San Diego, California, and he is 29 years old. And there really wasn't much to find of him. As I may have mentioned, the bios have not been released because this is the unconfirmed cast. So all we're getting from the Bachelorette Facebook page is the name, the age, and where they're from. Everything else I'm giving you, I found from their Instagrams, from Bachelor Nation fan accounts. So this is all we know about Avon J. Morgan, what are your first impressions?
I mean, it's hard to have a first impression when you know literally nothing about him, but I've never been to San Diego and I would love to go. So, I mean, if it were me, I would be into the fact that he lives in California. We'll put it that way.
Do we think he'll do better on the show, Morgan, because he's from San Diego? There's been a lot of San Diego Bachelor alums in the past.
He'll be invited to the group hangouts after the show's done filming if he gets far, because they're always just running around San Diego.
Exactly. So he already has an in. Maybe he met up with someone and got some advice. Who knows? Our next guy here is Brandon H. He is from Carlsbad, California, which is just north of San Diego. He's 23 years old and he played college football. So that's a little young. I don't know if that Gabby and Rachel are going for younger guys. He doesn't look 23. Gianna, what do you think?
I was literally just gonna say he does not look 23. I would have put him at 30 or even like late 20s or something. I'm a
45.
little baffled. Yeah, honestly. We have had a lot of football players. I mean, Clayton was a football player himself, and we all know how that worked out. So, but you can't
It worked
generalize. You
out
can't
well.
put all football. I can't put all football players in one box. But yeah, he looks wholesome, innocent. Again, like Morgan said, it's so hard to even formulate an opinion about any of these guys. But I mean, the fact that he played college football means that he's a team player. So let's hope that he's,
Ooh.
men hyping each other up. I think he's going to be like that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're just getting started here, Morgan and Gianna. I know you guys. By the end of this list, you're going to be saying the craziest thing about the craziest things about the guys. So we're just getting warmed up here. We have 30 more guys to go through. Yeah, I mean, I would put him on Claire Crawley's season. She likes younger men. She was our oldest bachelorette. I don't know if Rachel and Gabby are going to be into him, to be honest, but he does seem like a team player, as you mentioned, Gianna. So that's always a green flag. Next up, we have Chris A. He is from Redondo Beach, California, which is between San Diego and LA, a little bit closer to LA. He's 30 years old. He is a coach, and he loves seeing everyone win. There was a couple blind items on the Bachelor accounts that he is just, a really nice guy and wholesome and cares about, the people he coach. Not sure if it's kids, adults, what sport it is. But he looks like a really nice guy. Morgan, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. And like we said, he's not 23 years old. He's 30 and maybe he'll be more mature, although age doesn't always equal maturity. But like you said, the blind items so far have a lot of good things to say about him. I feel like if you're a coach, you care about people in general, you care about the people around you, you care about your team. So hopefully he cares about our two bachelorettes just as much.
Yeah, and as we go through the men, I think we should all, or you guys should say, if you're going to see him going for Gabby or Rachel, which one you would ship them with more. So let's do that moving forward. And Morgan, what do you think for Chris A? Gabby or Rachel?
Well, Gabby was a cheerleader, so maybe I mean, it's always like the football player and the cheerleader, not the coach and the
Uh-huh.
cheerleader. But maybe now that they're older, they could be a little power couple with the coach.
I mean, I think that's a little scandalous. A cheerleader, a coach. I mean, I'm kind of here for it. It's not super typical. Let's keep moving on. Our next guy is Colin F. He is from Chicago, Illinois, which is another popular Bachelor alum hotspot. And he is 36 years old, making him the oldest guy on the cast. Gianna, what do we think about Colin F?
Okay, I mean, this is a very professional picture. It looks like a LinkedIn picture, so I'm just gonna assume that he has a good job or he has a very
Mhm.
professional like job. Um, so I'm gonna say he's a good dude. I really think he's a good dude, and he looks like Bradley Cooper when he was in A Star Is Born. So automatic points right there. He's so cute, and I'm just gonna call him Bradley Cooper from A Star Is Born.
You're giving him a little too much credit. I don't know. He looks a little nerdy. Not too
We
sure.
love
Are we
nerds.
shipping him
We love
are we
that.
shipping him with Gabby or Rachel, Gianna?
I don't know why, but I feel Rachel for some reason. I think just looks wise, I think him and Rachel would be an attractive pair.
Yeah, I was like voting on one of the Bachelor like Nation accounts polls the other day. They're like Gabby or Rachel. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of these guys would go for both of them because even though they are so different, I also feel like they're really similar in a lot of ways. And I feel like a lot of the guys would like both of them, considering they're both such catches. But they are, it's from two different sides of the country. They have two different backgrounds and everything. So I'm sure they'll click with certain guys more than others. And I'm sure there's a few guys they're going to click with the both of them. So we'll have to kind of see what happens when the season airs. I cannot wait. I don't know why we have to wait 4 months. But let's continue on here. And if you guys are listening, don't forget to leave the comments down below, your predictions, who you think would be good for Gabby and Rachel, any tea you have on the guys, if you went to high school with any of them. Feel free to leave those in the comment section down below. Let's continue on to Corbin S. He is from Birmingham, Alabama. He is 27 years old, and his Instagram bio says, "Stay ready so you don't have to get ready." Not a bad bio. Morgan, what do we think?
Corbin is hot. Gianna and I were like, yep, as soon as he comes up, he's definitely one of the most attractive guys. And honestly, I feel like Corbin is going to be one of the guys that both of the girls have an initial, attraction to. I feel like every girl I've talked to has an attraction to Corbin. He's just really hot. He's also in between them as far as age is concerned. He is closest to Rachel, but, 27 and 30, that's pretty close as well. So I feel like if they're going to fight over guys, Corbin might be one of them.
Oh, yeah. He looks super, super cute. Gianna, you have a crush on him?
Absolutely. I mean, out of all the men that I've seen photos of so far, he is chef's kiss. So cute. I wish I was the Bachelorette this season.
Okay, well, just wait till we get to Jason A, because that's my favorite, but we're almost there. Eric S, he is from Santa Monica. He is 29 years old. He is a hockey player. Apparently, he is a fan of The Bachelor because he had a TikTok caption that said, "Here for the wrong reasons," that one of the Bachelor Nation accounts found. I believe it was Bachelor Reality. I'm sure he was joking. I've captioned videos or photos before here for the wrong reasons. It's just, do we think it's a red flag that he might be a big fan of the show going on to it, Morgan, or do we think that doesn't matter?
I feel like let's give him the benefit of the doubt, but he reminds me of I can't remember his name. I think it might be
Clayton?
Jason, but from Claire's season. The only other guy that Claire had like any type of connection to besides Dale, I feel like they look very similar, and I can't remember his name to save my life right now, but I don't know. Eric isn't doing it for me, but maybe he'll do it for Gabby or Rachel.
I'm more concerned that he has an H in his name. I mean, I've never heard of Eric with an H. That's like Erich or Erica. So, we can call him Eric with an H, kind of like what we did with Courtney with a Q. And then who did we do that last season? Nate with a Y. I started that and then it never really went anywhere. But Eric with an H could be his new nickname. So, Gianna, why are you laughing? Do you like this guy?
No, you just crack me up. I do want to say that I don't trust any professional sports players. I don't know if he's a hockey player in the NHL, the AHL. I don't know what he is, but I don't trust any of them. I think they are, I'm going to get roasted. I think they're the most unfaithful groups of humans that exist. And I'm talking from personal experience and I'm talking from things that I have seen firsthand. So I don't know if I trust him already or not. So.
Ooh. I think he's gonna get attention from Gabby and Rachel. I think that they both like athletes. They both dated Clayton, who was a football player. And I feel like we also know about Gabby. She previously dated Dean Unglert and Blake Hortzman. So, she might have a little bit of a type. She was a cheerleader. I'm sure she's dated a few sports players before, but then she was an ICU nurse, and then she got all wholesome. I'm just excited to see them. I just can't wait to ship them. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see the first connections. Let's continue on because I don't know what I'm saying. Ethan K is from New York, our first New Yorker. He's 27 years old. There's a lot going on with Ethan K, guys. So not only is he the only Asian contestant of the season, he also did Bachelor Live on Stage a couple years back. But apparently, he had a girlfriend when he did it, and the remaining 11 girls from the show are still friends and have a group chat that was really hot and poppin' yesterday when they found out Ethan was going on the show. This isn't the first person from Bachelor Live on Stage that went on The Bachelor last season. Ryan, who was eliminated night one with the notes from Michelle's season, He also was on Bachelor Live on Stage. So I'm not surprised they're trying to find a few of those guys to go on The Bachelor if they already kind of got in with producers and everything. But this is just kind of upsetting because I had high hopes for Ethan. He's representing the Asian culture, the Asian community, and he had a girlfriend going into Bachelor Live on Stage. Gianna, what do we think?
I mean, maybe the girlfriend was the fan of The Bachelor and dragged him to Bachelor Live on Stage. Like, we don't know the full
Ooh,
story. It could
okay.
be that. Again, I'm trying to give him benefit of the doubt here because I don't want to like completely rule him out right away. But that is totally a red flag if he went on his own time. I think I don't know how I feel about that at all. And it is so funny because like we've seen it in past seasons with that guy. We saw it with even Thomas on Katie's season. All the men are like, wait, you've watched the show before, you're a fan of the show, like you're fake, you're just trying to be the Bachelor type of thing. I feel like any man that's in that category is always the one that's usually getting in trouble. So I don't know. Again, let's not rule him out right away, but that's not a good look for Ethan K.
Morgan, why do we think these 11 girls are still friends and have a group chat to this day? It's probably been about 2 years.
I mean, maybe that Bachelor Live on Stage was just a bonding experience for those 11 girls. And I mean, I know I can speak from personal experience as a 29-year-old single girl. Sometimes it's hard to meet friends in your adult life because you're not in college, you're not,
Mhm.
still in school. The only people I hang out with is my boyfriend and then like I have two friends. So maybe it
And
was just a good
us.
place for them to bond. Yeah, you guys live in different states. So it's like maybe they just
Yeah.
bonded over the experience and are friends now because of it.
Do we think he's gonna get called out for this? Or maybe not because these are girls who, aren't on the show?
I think he probably will. I mean, Bachelor Nation uses any excuse to call anybody out, right? Even for the smallest things. Let's just hope that Ethan doesn't have a folder full of notes when he goes in night one.
For sure. And I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm like, there's going to be one guy that does something crazy night one because last season we had the whole Sally's engagement storyline, which I think is just like a new thing producers are doing to get people engaged in the season. And then on Michelle's season, we had Ryan with this whole note storyline. So there's always like a contrived storyline, for night one. So hopefully Ethan does not end up being that person because he is the only Asian. So we do want to see him go far. There's been so much, call for diversity on the show, but we also need Asian diversity as well. We've never had an Asian lead. So I have high hopes for Ethan. Hopefully he still doesn't have that girlfriend. And if she is a big fan of The Bachelor, Gianna, like you are, hopefully, assuming, then I wonder what she has to say about him. Maybe she can get invited into that group chat with the rest of the 11 girls because clearly they have a lot in common. Let's continue on. Hayden M. He is from Tampa, Florida. He's 29 years old. He is already a front runner and the season hasn't started. Bachelor Nation is comparing him to Grocery Store Joe, saying they look alike. And people are already, putting him in the top 4 for their back brackets. Gianna, what do we think of Hayden? Is he cute?
Yeah, you can't even tell me that's not Grocery Store Joe. Like, that literally looks exactly like him. It's crazy. They have the same smile, same eyes, same hair. Everything is the same. It's like, I'm sure there's side by sides all over Instagram, but we need to do a side by
Hmm.
side at some point. Um, but yeah, I think he's adorable. And I think because we're associating his looks with Grocery Store Joe, then we're automatically assuming like his personality is going to be like Grocery Store Joe because I think we can all say like we love him and he's so wholesome and sweet, especially now like after Bachelor in Paradise. But you never know, like he could totally be the villain too. He could look, sweet, but he's might be evil. I don't know though. I really think he's cute and I like him. I'm going to put him up there with my favorite people.
His smile, like, there's no way he's the villain. Like, he just looks so happy, so go lucky, so sweet and wholesome. Morgan, you're, the residential Grocery Store Joe fan in the mix. Who do we think he's going to go for, Gabby or Rachel?
I feel like, Rachel is in Florida. So that would be a good
Ooh.
match. Wouldn't have to, change locations all that much. I feel like living situations are a big factor in these relationships, whether or not they're successful after the show's over or not. So, I mean, if they're already in the same place, why not?
It'll be definitely easier to commute versus Arizona and Virginia, like Clayton and Susie. So that's a good point, Morgan. Good point. Because most of these guys seem to be from California, but we're getting a few, mix up there. Next up, we have Jake R. He is from Scottsdale, Arizona, which is a very hot place, and he is 27 years old. And yeah, very private on Instagram, no bio, no tea. He just looks like a guy who has no idea what The Bachelorette is. Like, how did he end up on this show? I feel like he just took the wrong left when he was trying to go to the construction office, and the producers just brought him in there. And I don't even know if he'll make the cut because he just looks like a fish out of water completely. Gianna, who do we think he's gonna go for, Gabby or Rachel?
I feel like just at first glance, maybe Rachel. Especially since, we're making him seem like he's more like on the low key side and whatever. And we know that
Mhm.
Gabby is totally extroverted. I'm gonna say Rachel. But like Morgan was saying earlier, it really is a green flag when people aren't on social media as much, going on to these shows. Just because again, it could mean that they're a clout chaser if they are, but the fact that he's not, maybe like you said, Zach, he hasn't seen the show ever, which I think would be amazing and unbelievable. So I hope he makes the cut, honestly, because I would love to see how he reacts and what he does.
Well, it's always so fun when there's a few guys who come on the show that have no idea what they're doing and have never seen the show, not even just on The Bachelor, but on all types of reality shows. It's those are fun people to watch. So I have high hopes for Jake R. I'm gonna put him in my top few favorites. And keep in mind, guys, I'm gonna ask you at the end who a couple of your favorites are. So if you need to jot them down as we're going through, do not be shy. Next up we have James C. He is from Los Angeles, California, 25 years old, so a little bit on the younger side. Now, James C was originally cast for Claire Crawley's season. I guess he didn't end up making the cut, and then they wanted to bring him back. So, Morgan, this could be two ways here. One is he's been trying to get on the show forever, or two, the producers saw something and just kind of wanted to wait. Because the same thing happens with Greg. Greg was originally on Claire's season as well. That was also the year of COVID where a lot of things were changing. So, do we have high hopes for James C?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if production remembers you years later, that means that you left a lasting impression on them. And I feel like in a positive way. I don't feel like, anybody that left a horrible impression or they're like, "Oh, this guy's going to be the villain." I mean, you'll find a villain, but I feel like if you are actively making sure that somebody that was supposed to be on 3 seasons ago ends up on this season, that means that they really like him, they see something special in him, maybe a potential future bachelor, who knows? I'm glad that he wasn't on Claire's season just because
He would have been
obviously, she
22.
was, yeah, he's so young. So maybe this time around is a better fit for him.
I'm glad you have high hopes for him. I don't. I don't like his shirt. I think it just is a little dorky with the
You don't
suit.
like his
Remember
shirt.
last
Everybody wears a button down. That is the same exact shirt that Jake was wearing in his garage that we
but
just
Jake
looked
wore it
at, and you
better.
loved him.
Jake wore it better. Jake wore it better. It's just the jacket and the suit, like, it's just not working for me. I remember when we did this last year, we were judging the outfits so hard. So I just felt like I needed to give a little sass. There's something about James. I'm just not feeling it, Morgan. Me and James are not getting along. We're already fighting. The girls are fighting. Gianna, do you like him?
I no, he's just not my type, to be honest. So if I'm just gonna go off of like physical attractiveness, I'm not attracted to him. But again, that could change after I see his personality. I could fall in love with his personality if he makes the cut. So, but for now, no. Sorry.
See, there we go. Let's continue on because James C is causing major issues here on the shared news host panel. Jason A. This one is my favorite. I already have a major crush on him. I mean, look at this man. He is so hot, and I haven't said that about anyone yet. Like, there's just something about him. Santa Monica, California, hottest guy on the cast. Also, the guy with the lowest amount of followers. He only has 79 followers. Thanks to Bachelor Data for mapping it all out. I mean, did he just make an account just before the show? He's very private. Morgan, what do you think?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like we've said this whole time, it's funny how that automatically signals to us that it's not a red flag. But I agree with you. I think Jason is top 2 for me. I mean, you know that I love Corbin, but I didn't really give Jason a good once over, and I like him. I feel like he and Gabby would make beautiful babies.
Beautiful. I'm more concerned that he doesn't have a lot of friends. I mean, if he only has 79 followers, like, I mean, he's 30 years old. Like, I don't know how many friends he has. So that's more concerning for me. Gianna, what do you think?
No, some people, like I was saying, are just way more private on social media. Think about all three of us, right? We are all a social media presence. We're constantly trying to grow our following, put ourselves out there. There are people, and we have to understand, that are complete opposite. Like, they don't want anyone to know who they are. They don't want any attention. It gives them anxiety. They get anxious over it. Like, and he just might be one of those people. And again, that
And then
could
you go
be
on
a
The
good thing.
Bachelor?
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe someone nominated him and he's just like, yeah, I don't know, like whatever. I don't think he's
Zach
doing it for
Clark
clout. I genuinely think.
Zach Clark was also very private and he knew nothing about the
True.
show. He didn't even know how to work social media. And I mean, look how that ended for him. I know it's not a happily ever after, but he did walk away with
True.
Tasha on the show.
Hmm.
I see Jason A in the end. I mean, I really do see him. He just has the look. He has it. Maybe he's the next Bachelor. We all like him here,
Ooh.
so we're gonna put him on for our, top 4 list or whatever. Morgan, a lot of people were asking me, like, how do you think they're gonna do it when it comes to hometowns? Do you think Gabby and Rachel will just meet like 2 families? Do you think they'll meet 3? Do you think maybe it's possible they'll have one of the same guys in their top 3 or 4?
I don't think when it gets down to the top 3 that they will have the same guys. But I don't think they'll do a top 4 with hometowns. I think they'll do 3 because 8 hometown dates is way too much. 2 for each girl is way too little. So I think 3 will be the sweet spot.
I think there'll be a lot of double dates this season too, just because it's a 2-hour show, just to save time, because it's going to be a lot to follow 2 love stories. But we'll probably find more out about that soon. Let's get into these next guys. The twins. They have been getting a lot of attention online, so I'm going to need both of your opinions and hot takes. We have Joey Y and Justin Y, the twins. They're from Brookfield, Connecticut, 24 years old. They're club promoters in NYC, so they're getting a lot of attention online because apparently they've been sliding into a lot of girls' DMs, but that's also their job as club promoters. What do we think of these twins? Who wants to go first?
I don't like them. I don't like either of them. I don't like the twins. Bad idea. They need to go. They're both going to be villains. It's going to be double trouble. And I think that's going to be a tagline for the rest of the season. Double trouble this season of The Bachelorette. Like, it's going to be so stupid and so overdone and forced. I don't like club promoters. All they do is promote these clubs in order to get free drinks, free tables, meet all the girls. It's just that type of scene. And there's this saying that's like, if you want to find your husband or your wife or whomever, like, find them in the place that, like, you have a shared interest. People go to the club to have fun and hook up. You're not going to find love in the club. I'm sorry. Like, it's just not like that. So it's like, and they're so young. They're literally our age. The fact that they're clubbing every weekend in New York and they're going to get married, they're just not ready right off the bat, and I know that for a fact. So I don't like them, either of them, at all.
Okay. Morgan, do we think they're going to
Yeah,
come
I
in
mean,
together?
I feel the same. I feel like a 24-year-old club promoter in New York is not ready to be a husband. I mean, it's just as plain and simple as that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think they're there for that either, but I love that there's going to be twins on the show. I think that is a really fun idea. These twins seem a little too young. I mean, they're 24, but they look 18. They seem a little too young for Gabby and Rachel, but I think that one of them is going to vibe with Rachel. Like, just like a little bit of a thing. I wonder if they'll walk in together out of the limo, or they'll walk in back to back and see if anyone notices. They're definitely identical twins. It looks like it. And I'm sure one will go farther than the other. There's going to be lots of twin jokes. I think they're going to get a lot of hype this season, a lot of opinions, good or bad. So I'm excited for the twins. Double trouble. Let's move on to John A. He is from Nashville, Tennessee. He's 26 years old. He is a model and an actor. So he is working in the business. He got some pretty good shots on his website portfolio, which I found on his Instagram. He's actually a pretty handsome guy. He photographs well. Gianna, what do we think of him?
This is giving me PTSD from when the internet found out that Greg went to acting school and they were all just roasting him and ripping him apart for being an actor and acting during his duration on Katie's season. But like, I really don't think that if you're an actor, you're just gonna go on these shows just to display your acting skills at the end of the day. Like, maybe he genuinely wants to find love. Maybe he genuinely was attracted to either Gabby or Rachel. I would ship him with Gabby just because we all know, again, she's quirky, she's extroverted. And I feel like John being an actor, they could do like improv together and all these like fun things. Um, and he's a country boy. He's from Nashville. No one's actually from Nashville, so I want to know where he's really from in Tennessee. But yeah, I feel like he knows how to have a good time. I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, actors deserve to find love too, right? Let's continue on to Johnny D. He is from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. He's 25 years old. His Instagram bio says, "It is what it is till it isn't." Morgan, how are we feeling about Johnny D?
Oh, Johnny D is not my type of guy. Let's just put it that way. I mean, first of all, he's in Florida and he's wearing a fleece lined jacket. It's kind of giving me like Luke from Summer House vibes, even though no offense to Johnny D, Luke I think is a lot more attractive in my opinion. Yeah, just not the type of guy that I would go for. He is a Florida boy, so maybe that'll help him build a connection with Rachel. But not my cup of tea. Sorry, Johnny.
Johnny is giving he's given something. So Morgan, I get the flags. He's definitely going for Rachel. I can see that. Our next guy is another Florida guy, Jordan H. He is from Tampa, Florida. 35 years old, so a little bit on the older crowd, which is good since we know Gabby's 31. And apparently his ex is shipping him with Gabby and said he's a good guy. So his ex wrote into one of the Bachelor Nation fan accounts and, wants him to find love with Gabby specifically. Gianna, ex's approval, not bad.
Not bad at all. I hope that really was his ex and not just some random account trying to get clout for this reason. But if it was his actual ex saying that, I totally trust her. I totally trust her because we usually hear the opposite. We usually hear girls being like, "Yep, I dated him, red flag, like run the other way." So the fact that we're hearing good feedback for once, that's fine with me. So Jordan, I like Jordan. I like him.
Yeah, well, if you like him, there's going to be another Jordan. We have Jordan V. He is from Alpharetta, Georgia. He is 27 years old. He is a race car driver and likes the gym. I like a good race car driver. We know Ari Lyondike was the famous Bachelor race car driver. Morgan, what do we think of Jordan V?
If I have to pick between the Jordans, I'm gonna go with Jordan H, just based
Okay.
on looks. But I do like, that he's adventurous. I think that always makes somebody more interesting, especially when it comes to down the line if they get one-on-one dates. They're always just a little bit more, adrenaline rush based. So if anything, it'll make for a good date down the line if he does get that far.
For sure. Our next guy is Justin B. He is from Solana Beach, California, which I believe is a little bit more on the NorCal side. He is 32 years old. He looks super handsome, and there really was nothing to find out about him initially on the internet. Gianna, what do we think?
I He's hot. I like him. I would swipe right on a
Mhm.
dating app. I really like him. He's Justin B, like Justin Bieber. Are you kidding me? You're Justin Bieber? Like
Ooh.
that's what I just thought about. Um, I like the fact that he's 32. Again, not too old. I think that's a perfect age for both of the girls. And I could see him with honestly, I can't even pick one. I could see him with either one. He seems mysterious. I'm wondering if he like has a vineyard or something, if he's more in the NorCal area. I
Ooh.
feel like he likes to read books. Now I'm just making things up about him. I just really like him at first
I
glance.
told you. I told you guys, the more we go, we're just gonna get loopy because they're all gonna like look the same. I just want anyone in the 30s to go for Gabby just because she's so mature and she knows what she wants. Like Gabby does not need a guy that's like 25, 26. So I mean, Rachel's a lot younger. So I just feel like anyone that's over 30, I'm shipping for Gabby. Our next guy is Kirk B. He is from Lubbock, Texas, 29 years old and a football player. He looks super handsome as well. I feel like he's gonna go far. Morgan, what do we think?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad, you guys. I have a specific type of guy that I like, and it's just not Kirk. But I don't like, big muscular football player guys, but I know a lot of girls do. So like we've said, it's hard when they don't give us a lot of information on him. If it was for me, wouldn't be my first choice, but I'm not the bachelorette. So good luck to you, Kirk B.
Morgan, what is your type? What is your ideal type?
I like tall and lean. I like more the soccer player as opposed to the football
Ooh,
player.
okay. And Gianna, what is your type?
I'm gonna say Morgan. I feel like Morgan and I have a very similar type just based off of what she said and how we're both feeling about the physical appearances of these men. We've both been seem to be on the same page. So I do like a more taller, leaner guy. Yeah, I don't usually go after the buff people because I feel like I'm so small and they just scare me. And I like Italian brunettes, usually men that break my heart. I like that type. So yeah, that's
Okay, we love it. We love it. Okay, let's continue on here. We have Coy, Koy. He is from Scottsdale, Arizona as well, and he is 25 years old. Coy looks really shy. He looks really sweet. And I'm not even gonna ask you guys what you think about him because he just has such a soft smile and he's just such a nice guy. And I just want to protect him at all costs. So shout out to Coy S. Let's continue on to our next guy, Logan P. He is from San Diego, California, 26 years old. This guy belongs on Bachelor Listen to Your Heart. Like, where's the guitar? Where's the country music? I mean, I don't know what he sounds like, but like, I'm just getting these vibes from Logan P. I think he's got a little red hair. Gianna, what do you think?
I didn't get that vibe at all, but you just put it in my brain, so now I can't unsee it. Again, I'm not physically attracted to him, but he is from San Diego, so maybe he can join that whole San Diego crew.
Fraternity.
Hopefully he's a good time. Logan P, he kind of reminds me of Mike P in a way, and he was so wholesome and funny. Uh yeah, maybe I don't know. I am loopy. I'm feeling loopy, so he's fine. He's whatever.
Morgan, I feel like you would like him.
What? No, I mean, sorry. That is such a bad reaction, Logan P. If you're watching, I did not mean it like it comes out, but same as Gianna, just not for me, But God bless you, Logan P.
But I feel like you'll like him on the show as like a character. Like I feel like he's gonna be like a force and he's gonna make it far. Can you see that?
You think?
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna be one of your favorites. Morgan, you have a very
See, I
specific
feel
palette. We know your palette.
this is not my
And
palette. This is not my palette.
but wait until you see his character. Like I'm just imagining him and I just feel like you're gonna like him as a person,
Okay,
not
well,
maybe have a crush.
if yeah, if we get, 3, 4 episodes in and I change my mind, I will be the first to admit that I was wrong and you were right, and I'll tell it here on Shared News.
We'll do a look back at this. Honestly, what we should do in the off season, guys, is we should do a look back at our last Bachelor first impression before the season started with Clayton's girls and react to that.
Oh my
Okay,
God, yeah.
write that down, George, backstage, because that is what we need to do because this is going to be funny. Mario V is our next guy. He is very, very handsome. He is from Naperville, Illinois, 31 years old, personal trainer. He's into boot camps. He also works with a workout apparel line. He's totally going for Gabby and he's totally going far. I really like his energy already. Gianna, what do you think?
I like him too. Right when you said personal trainer, boot camp, I can picture him being really passionate about his work. Obviously, he has a good build. And I feel like he will just be very encouraging of the girls. To be a personal trainer and run a boot camp, you have to be encouraging and helpful. And you got to be willing to go through a lot of pain. So I feel like he's up for the challenge and he's ready to support these women. That's what I'm getting from Mario.
Mhm.
So I like him.
And I'm also getting that he's going to be supporting the guys too. I feel like when there's drama in the house, Mario's
Um,
going to be there to break it up and tell the immature guys, get it together. Like Mario just seems
yeah.
like that guy. So he's going to be on my bingo card. I'm putting him in my top 4. Matt L is our next guy. He is from San Diego. He's from California, 25 years old. He works with supplement brands with vitamins. So he's all about being healthy. Morgan, what do we think?
Okay, hot take. Matt L is giving me villain vibes. I don't know if it's the protein powder that he's selling. Is that what you said it was? Something vitamins? I
Something
don't
like
know.
that.
Sorry.
Vitamins, supplements.
But we haven't done a villain prediction yet. So Matt L from
Okay.
San Diego, California is going to be my villain prediction.
And who do we think he's gonna fight with? Logan? Mario?
Everybody.
Jason A?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Matt L, we are coming for you. Gianna, is there any tension or beef between some of the guys you think? Any predictions? Do you remember anyone's name? You can even just throw out 2 random guys. I'm sure we'll all laugh either way.
Yeah, now I'm just forgetting. I mean, I feel like all the sports guys might have beef because their testosterone's always through the roof and they always want to be competitive. So maybe
Mm,
they'll fight each other if there's like a bachelorette football or whatever sporting event they're gonna make them do,
mm.
or a group date.
Gianna, do you remember? I think it was for or Katie's season. There was one guy who liked Christmas, and then one guy who liked
Yes.
Halloween. This is when we got their bios, and we were like, "Oh, they're gonna hate each other. It's the end of the world."
I don't even remember who we were talking about, but
Me
those are the
neither.
types of predictions. We're like, oh, they're gonna hate each other off the bat. Different holidays, it's over for them.
We're gonna have to redo this impression once we get the bios, which we probably won't get until
Yeah.
closer to July. So these are gonna be fun. Let's keep going. We have Michael V. He is up next. He is from Long Beach, California. He is 31 years old, and he honestly looks like he's never seen the show before. Morgan, how far do we think he's gonna go? He looks like Jeff Probst. He needs to go on
He only
Survivor.
looks like Jeff Probst because he's standing in front of trees. The
And the
palm
blue
trees,
shirt.
it looks like.
And the
And the
outfit.
blue shirt. Yeah, I guess so. Hey, if it doesn't work out for him on The Bachelorette, maybe he can run the gamut on Survivor.
I want him on Survivor. Michael V, I'm shipping you for Survivor. I feel like you'll do well there. Let's keep going. We're in the home stretch, guys. We have less than 10 guys left. Nate M, he is from Chicago, Illinois. He is 33 years old, and it's very interesting with Nate M. He is followed by Dustin, Pilot Pete, Grocery Store Joe, and Clay. So he is, friends with a lot of people from Bachelor Nation. He is in that crew. Gianna, is this a red flag, a green flag? How do we feel? They're already supporting him. A couple of them posted Nate on their stories.
Well, if they're supporting him, then but Pilot Pete's opinion, I don't trust him with anything, to be honest with you.
But you
So
trust
I don't.
Joe.
Yeah, it's hard. I guess if they're all saying that he's a good person, then I'm going to take their word for it. I can totally see this being a situation where like they were all hanging out in Chicago or somewhere and then Nate was probably like, "Oh, like Gabby's beautiful or Rachel's beautiful." And they were like, "Man, like let's get you on the next season, blah blah blah." Some type of conversation. I don't know if that was a thing. I don't know how that would have worked out, but I can see them hyping him up if he thought the women were attractive in a way. So I guess he's fine. He's fine for now. He's fine for now.
Mhm.
Proceed with
Morgan, do
caution.
we think it's gonna be like Raven and Tia situation where it's like she really helped her out and coached her? Or do we think they're not even gonna mention that he's friends with a lot of people from Bachelor Nation?
No, I feel like they have to mention it because there's so many of them that are friends with him. It's not
Mm,
just one person, it's a group of guys that already have showed support. So I feel like we definitely will get a little Bachelor Nation crossover. I feel like any opportunity production has the chance to bring former members back or mention them, especially if they're fan favorites, they do it. So with Nate, him being connected to Grocery Store Joe, even to Pilot Pete, even though he's a very polarizing character, Clay, I feel like we'll definitely hear a lot about that.
Yeah, and it almost guarantees him that he'll make it halfway through the season. So honestly, he has an advantage. He has his immunity. Let's continue on. Nick G. Also, guys, if you're still with us, don't forget to leave your predictions and your opinions in the comments down below and give this video a big, big thumbs up. Nick G, he is from Nashville, Tennessee. He is 30 years old and he is a realtor. He seems like a nice guy. Gianna, what do we think?
I think that realtors have the benefit of knowing how to be very persuasive and convincing, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if it's like a manipulation tactic, but they got to sell their houses. So they have to do it sometime. And I think that can carry over into their relationships. So he could be really, really good or really, really slimy. Honestly, I can see him being a villain for some reason. Another villain hot take. I feel like Nick could be a villain. I wonder if he's friends
Uh,
with the actor singer that is also from Nashville, John A. Maybe they're friends. Who knows?
Gianna, look at what's behind him. These are the houses he's selling. He also isn't even opening his eyes. I'm taking everything back. He might be the biggest villain ever. Is the sun in his
Ever.
eyes? Like he couldn't even get a good picture. Morgan, would you buy a house from Nick G?
No, because I can't afford a house right now. So it would be nothing against
What
Nick
about an
G. I
apartment?
just in general, the housing market right now, not great. Um, of an apartment, if he did a good job of selling it, if he got me a good deal, I would buy an apartment from him, rent one from him.
Okay. Okay. He might be feuding with Matt this season, Morgan's other villain pick. So we'll have to keep a close eye out for Nick. Our next guy here is Quincy W. He is from Miami, Florida, 25 years old. He has a YouTube channel. He works with investing, trading, and building brands. And his fashion is dapper and is expected to be really fly this season. Lots of good looks. Gianna, what do we think about this?
Uh, mm, yeah, like red flags all around. Just because, again, my personal experience, people that are all about investing and building the brands and this, that, the other, they're constantly like clout chasing. Like they're always trying to reach out to people with a big following or talk to people that have a lot of money. They're always looking to go to other people in order to make themselves successful, and I think that he's gonna be the one that's on this show for the wrong reasons. Sorry, Quincy. I don't like him.
I feel that way too. Sometimes with people who are like always investing and doing crypto and that kind of stuff are like always like in your DMs reaching out to people. So I could see that too, but he does have probably the best fashion of the group. So Morgan, who do we think he's going to go for? Gabby or Rachel? And why is it Rachel?
Yeah, I don't know why I automatically thought Rachel too. Maybe they're closer in age. I don't know. He just seems a little bit more serious, whereas we know Rachel, of the two, is the more serious one. Not saying that she doesn't have a funny side, because of course she does, but I feel like Quincy and Gabby just probably wouldn't have a lot to talk about.
I just don't think Gabby wants to date anyone like under 25 because I just feel like she's so mature. So we'll see. Robby S is our next guy. There is a lot going on with him. He's from Los Angeles. He's 33 years old. He is a magician. He is French American. He goes back and forth between New York City and LA. He graduated from Princeton. He is a consultant for Warner Brothers. He had an international tour for magic, and he has been recognized by many famous fashion designers and celebrities who he has performed magic for. I mean, how did he get on the show if he is a Warner Brothers consultant? That is my biggest question. And that's only to summarize. There was a lot more about him. He is very much, some type of public figure. Gianna, what do we think of Robby S?
Yeah, usually when any reality show is casting, they try to stay away from public figures. I mean, I was even being cast for a show and they were like, you're a little too out there. And I was like, oh, okay. So this is very surprising to me. Um, I don't know why. Like, I'm just picturing his limo entrance. The fact that he's a magician, he's gonna do something so cringy, like some magic trick, like something. And that is gonna be taken and ran with throughout the entire season. The fact that he's a magician. But even if he even makes it, I don't know if he'll make it. I mean, he has way too much going on. Way, way, way too much. He's all over the place. So I no.
I think he's
Sorry.
gonna be a fan favorite though. Like I think he's gonna have that like loving, endearing personality. He's probably gonna go home a few weeks in, but I think like people are just gonna get a good kick out of him, and hopefully we get some magic jokes. Maybe he can make some of the guys disappear, or do whatever magicians do. But I'm excited to see what he has to bring. But I don't think he'll go very far. Um, let's continue on to Ryan M. He is from Boston, Massachusetts. 35, the home of Gianna. Gianna, what beach is he at?
He could be at Gloucester Beach, Revere Beach, I mean, Nahant Beach, so many different beaches all over the state of Massachusetts. Again, when we say we're from Boston, we're not actually from the city of Boston, so I'm wondering where he's from, if he's more Western Mass or Northern. I'm really curious, but as of right now, I don't recognize him, which is great. I haven't seen him out in the streets. I haven't seen him in clubs. So this is great, and he's an older contestant. I mean, what the oldest guy was 36 or 35. So is he tied with being the oldest contestant? Because I mean that
Yeah,
could be a good thing. But
36.
it's also like there's this thing like, oh, okay, he's great, he's older, he may be more mature, but it's also like, why are you single at 35? Like, have you been married previously? Like, do you have children? Because he looks like a dad, in my
Oh.
opinion. He looks like he has a kid. So we'll
Well,
see.
what's the Boston dating scene like? Maybe he's had some difficulty.
Terrible, terrible, horrible. 0 out of 10. Hate it. Not good.
Okay, well, we'll keep a close eye for Ryan. Are you going to be pulling for him, though, Gianna, regardless?
Yeah, I have to. I have to support my Boston people no matter what. So,
Fair enough. Let's move on to Spencer S. He is from Chicago, Illinois. He is 27 years old. He is a United States Military Academy at West Point. He is a lifeguard. He was in the Army for 5 years, and he is also friends with Connor Saley from Hannah Brown's season, who follows him. But I don't know if that will play into it. Morgan, what do we think of Spencer? He seems like a really, good guy. He fought for our country, but is he going to be possibly scarred? Because that we have seen that before on the show with people who have been in the military and the army.
I think I get a good vibe from him. I feel like he is a good guy. I feel like I could see him with Rachel, and I feel like they could have a true genuine love story. And it's crazy how you can just get that vibe from somebody. But yeah, that's what I'm picking up from him. I could be totally wrong, but I feel like he could make it pretty far and be a fan favorite.
No, I see that as well. I think he's going to make it pretty far and be a fan favorite as well. I can see him going the distance. He seems like he's going to have an interesting story, an interesting backstory. Let's move on. We have four guys left. This next guy, his name is Germain H. He is from Naperville, Illinois, and he is 26 years old, or 28 years old. Excuse me. Morgan, what do we think of Germain? He seems pretty happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, I think he's really attractive too. I don't know which one he would fit better with, but I like what I see. I feel like I could see him on a beach in paradise one day if it does come back. Who knows what's going on with that, but
Gianna, would you date Germain?
yeah, why not? I mean, if he's a nice person, I'd give him a date. Who cares?
I'm shipping you and Termaine, Gianna. There's just a spark that I
Oh,
see. I don't know if it's
yes,
because
I
we're on the
should
30th
too.
guy, or what it is, but there's just something I really see between the two of you guys.
all right.
Okay,
Jermaine, call
we
me.
need. I can't. Okay, we need to continue on to Tino F. He is from Playa del Rey, California, which is in Los Angeles. He is 28 years old. His Instagram bio says, "The only thing to be scared of is the Kraken." Do you guys know what the Kraken is? I had to Google it. It is this like medieval
Kraken.
or Kraken. It's like this historic type of sea monster that lives in the coasts of Norway and may have attacked like this pirate ship. It's like ancient history. You guys, Gianna, you
Yeah.
know what it is? Oh, okay.
I don't know why I
I
know
don't.
exactly what the Kraken is, but I know what is it in Pirates of the Caribbean, maybe? It might be in Pirates. It might have been in an episode of SpongeBob. That's what the gears in my brain are saying to me right now, but I know what the Kraken is. Um, but Tino, I think that bio is trying way too hard to be funny. Like that's just not funny. First, like, why is that your bio? I don't understand. I think that he's a try hard already, and he's gonna be trying way
Ooh.
too hard. I think he's gonna put on a facade for these women, and I think he also might be a villain. I mean, why is he talking about the
Oh
Kraken?
my god. You think he wants to be the Kraken, like, on the low? Like, he wants to be
Yeah,
that sea monster?
I think he wants to infiltrate both Gabby and Rachel and be the Kraken and take everybody down. So sorry, villain,
This
another villain.
this it could be foreshadowing, but he says the only thing to be scared of is the Kraken. Little did, he know he's the Kraken. Morgan, is he gonna show up dressed as a Kraken on night 1?
I mean, if he did, I wouldn't know what he was doing. And I feel like probably 95% of America would have no idea what's going on. I don't even know what's going on right now on this video. So if he
Fair,
shows up there
fair.
that night, we're going to be in a group text losing
I
it.
feel like he's gonna show up in a costume. Like, it's gonna be a squid, a sea monster. It's gonna be like the Alexis Waters dolphin shark situation. He's showing up in some type of costume. Okay, next guy, we have Tyler N. He is from Rio Grande, New Jersey, our first Jersey boy in the mix, and he's 25 years old. Gianna, I gotta let you take this one. He looks like an Italian young guy. I mean, this could also be your future boyfriend.
Yeah, he's still not my type though, to be honest with you. And a lot of Jersey guys I feel like they're very out there in a bad way. So I don't know. I mean, he looks nice at first glance, but he also looks like a type of guy that I like would find out that he's speaking to like 80 other women. But I mean, that's what the Bachelorette
Mm.
is, right? It's like everyone's dating everybody. So, um sure, he's fine, I guess, but I don't trust him right now fully for some reason. That's just
Uh,
what my guts
I'm
tell
getting like college fraternity, Rutgers University, probably studied finance, moved to New York City,
me. Yes,
and
daddy's money.
is dating daddy's money. Yes, for sure. His family has money, and he'll make his own. With time, he'll probably blow some money too throughout his 20s, but he probably has like 2 or 3 girlfriends. That's Tyler N. That's just what the vibe I'm getting. Our last guy, I'm excited about. We haven't had a Zach in a couple of seasons. This is Zack S, not to be confused with Zachary Reality. He's from Texas, 25. He played college football. I guess I'm rooting for him because he's a Zach, but then I also don't want to share the attention. I don't know if that will be like good for my brand or like it'll hurt me. Morgan, should I be, threatened by him? Should I be concerned?
No, I think you guys have completely different vibes, you know? I feel like Zack S isn't gonna go for your target audience and vice versa.
Okay.
I will say, even though he is a football player, this Zack S is probably the closest to my type that we were talking about. I actually find him
Ooh.
very attractive. I'm shipping him.
With Rachel or Gabby?
I mean, I was gonna say me. I'm in a relationship, so I can't say me. So I will say Rachel.
Okay. Morgan, you are in a relationship. Do you have a bachelor hall pass that your boyfriend would be okay with? Just one night, even if it's a date, like even if it's just a date, who would it be?
That's a good question. You know, it's got to be Tyler Cameron, right? Because I feel like I
Ooh.
would be so insecure around Tyler Cameron that we would never get past a second date anyway, so it wouldn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was our group of 35 men. As I mentioned earlier, only 30 of them are going to make the cut. I want to know, what are your guys's, who is your pick for Gabby and who is your pick for Rachel? I mean, clearly so many great guys. We don't know much about them. We haven't even heard them speak. I mean, once you hear someone's voice, everything changes. Like, we really have no idea, especially with Logan P. I gave him the country voice, but he was living in San Diego. So it's like we really don't know. Watch him come out like, "Hello, I'm Logan." Who knows? If anyone is ready, raise your hand.
I think I know. I
Yeah,
feel
I'm
like I
ready.
know.
Okay.
Okay. So although I want him, I'm gonna be a little selfless here by sharing him. Corbin S, our lovely, most handsome boy. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I'm gonna ship him with Rachel. I think they're gonna be amazing
Ooh.
together. And then our hot, hot, hot man, Jason A. I'm shipping him with Gabby. So no, not Jason, actually. I
Okay.
take that back. What's his name? No. Justin. Justin? Was that him? The other Hawkeye that I said that he might like to read books. What was his name? Yep, him with Gabby. Yep,
Ooh.
Justin with Gabby. Mhm.
Okay. There's a lot of J's. We
Yeah.
have a Jake, James, Jason, Joey, Justin, John, Johnny, Jordan, Jordan, Justin,
Names.
Jake.
Jeez.
Okay, Morgan, what are we thinking? Who do we ship for Gabby and who do we ship for Rachel?
Okay, so I am actually going to pick Corbin for Gabby. I'm going to do the opposite
Ooh.
of what Gianna said. And then for Rachel, I am going to go with Hayden M. I think he and Rachel would be really
Ooh.
cute together.
Oh,
I
yes.
love that. I really like
Yeah.
Hayden M. Like his smile is so infectious. You guys totally like stole mine, kind of, but I'm gonna go with Jason A for Gabby. Super hot. Like you just can't pass that up. That's John A. We no John A for no one. Jason A. You just can't pass that up. He is, age appropriate for Gabby.
Mhm.
Seems really cool. And then I really like Mario a lot, so I kind of want to put him for Rachel. He is, the personal trainer. He does the boot camps. I feel like he can do the push-ups, and then Rachel can sit on him while she's doing the push-ups. Rachel liked Clayton a lot, and Clayton had those big muscles. He was tall, so I can kind of see her vibing with Mario as well. So those are our predictions. We want to hear yours. We also have to give our final villain for the season before we close things out. There was quite a few guys. Me and Morgan almost fought each other through the screen a couple times. Like a couple of these guys are going to be throwing some major shade. I have my villain already, but I'm going to see what you guys say first. Gianna, who do we think is going to be the number one villain of the season and why?
Tino the Kraken, because he's trying to be a mythical sea monster that destroys everyone, and he's gonna try too hard to be funny, and I think he's gonna piss all the men off somehow, some way. Number one villain.
The damn Kraken. Gotta watch out for him. Morgan, who do we think?
I think the villains, plural, will be our double
Ooh.
trouble twins, club
Ah.
promoters,
Ooh.
Joey and Justin from wherever they're from. I just feel like
Connecticut.
every red flag is flying with these two. The fact that they're twins, the fact that they're club promoters, like we've been saying, it's double trouble.
They're gonna have to do a double date, Morgan, right? Like, which one is gonna
Yeah.
go for which one?
Oh, that's hard because they're identical. Um,
You
we'll
can
say
base it on the
Justin with
shirt.
Rachel, Joey with Gabby.
Okay. Okay, there we have it. I mean, look at the background. They have the same trees. They're probably living at home. This was at their parents' house. It looks like a gloomy day in Connecticut. Not much going on. They might be on some type of farm or they just have a lot of land. So maybe they're into outdoor activities. We're gonna have to watch these twins, Morgan. I think you're onto something, some double trouble. I think the biggest villain of the season is going to be Nick, the realtor. Sometimes you just can't trust a realtor. And I also just don't trust somebody that, I know he was going for good lighting, with the sun in his eyes, but you got to open your eyes when you're taking a picture. And I mean, where are you? What houses are you selling? Nashville? Are you a country star? Gianna said he probably doesn't even live in Nashville. He just moved there. Like he's not staying true to his roots or his family. Like, does he still talk to his family? These are
Oh,
things that we really need to watch out for Nick. And overall, I think we have a really fun group of guys. Before we close things out, I want to hear one word to describe the group of guys for the season or a sentence just to kind of round it all up. Gianna, what are we thinking? Final thoughts.
just one word.
Yeah, but I don't want to put too much pressure on you. So if you need to say 2, 3, 4, or
Oh
6,
no,
you can do
I
that too.
I have my one word, and it would be motley. A motley crew of men.
Okay, cute.
Can I
That's not
just
where I thought you were
second
gonna
that?
say.
Because it's accurate, and I don't think I could come up with a better one word. So I'm just gonna second that, Gianna.
Thank
Okay,
you.
well, my word is kraken. That's the word that comes to mind for all of the men combined. I think there's some cuties in the mix, though. Like Morgan, do you think they will find love out of this mix?
I do. I feel like both Gabby and Rachel are ready for it. They're serious about it. They're going to be there to support each other to the end of it. I want them to get the happy ending that they deserve because they were so badly screwed over on Clayton's
Mm.
season. So I just hope for the best for these two, but I'm staying optimistic.
Yes, and fingers crossed. And The Bachelorette will start filming this weekend. So maybe we'll be able to give you guys some updates or some spoilers before the season airs on July 11th. So that's everything we have to share with you guys today. So before you guys go, don't forget to comment down below your thoughts, your predictions on the men, and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on any future updates. As always, I'm your host, Zachary Reality, joined by Gianna Gravalese and Morgan Wright. Our social media handles are on the screen right now, so be sure to give us a follow, come say hello, let us know what you thought of this video. It was a long one, and thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.